students, welcome to this video session. I remain Samuel Chukwuemeka, aka Sam Done for Peace. In this video session, we shall continue our discussion on measurements. We shall look at the metric system or the international system of units, and we shall specifically deal with areas and volumes, converting between the units. We have done that for length, so we just want to do areas and volumes, and it is pretty straightforward. However, some students find it challenging, so we shall explain that in this video. Please, before you view this video, it is very important that you have viewed the one on length. Okay, you need to know the introduction, what those prefixes mean. Those with the SI unit or the metric system, the prefixes are the main thing. Nano, pico, deci, deca, centi, milli, kilo, mega. So those ones are the main thing, and that is why the metric system is pretty much easier than the customary unit, the US unit. So you need to view the videos in order. On the metric system, you need to view them in order, and they are on my website. Also, when you go to this website here, this is a calculator for conversion. It will convert many physical quantities and units. So the website is www.measurementsandunits.appspot.com. Okay, just type it in exactly as is in the URL of your browser. You get to the website, and you can use it to check your answers. So that is the website that you can use to check your answers. So we've known the basics for the metric system. We know that area is, squared. Is it meter squared, or you can say square meters, or is it centimeter squared, or you can say square centimeter. So some textbooks will write meter squared, some textbooks will write square meters. It means the same thing. Some textbooks will write centimeters squared, or you can say square centimeters. It means the same thing. Some textbooks will write, and this is for area, means the same. Okay, meter squared, m squared. It means the same thing. This is cm squared, centimeter squared. It means the same thing. Some textbooks will write meter cubed, and some will write cubic meters. It means the same thing. Meter cube, cubic meters. Some textbooks will write decimeter cubed, or cubic decimeters, decimeters. And some textbooks will just write liters. Okay, so this is the same thing, dm cube. So when you talk of liters, it means 1 liter means 1 dm cube. So it's the same thing. Okay, now how do we make the conversion? Let's look at an example. Example one. Convert, let's say 25 centimeters squared to meters squared. And whenever you deal with the conversion of units, whether between units or among units, usually sometimes your professor might want you to leave it in the same significant figures as the original value. So in that case you do that. Some do not care. But if your professor did not specifically tell you what to leave it in, then it is important that you leave it in the same significant figures. Nigerians will say significant figures. Americans will say significant digits. Significant figures or significant digits. It means the same thing, significant digits. So, and I have done video on this. It is on my website, okay, samuelchukwuemeka.com, and that is under technical math. You will see this video, significant digits. So it means the same thing. If your professor did not specifically ask you to put it, to round to a certain number of decimal places or significant figures or digits, then it is recommended that you leave your values in the same significant digits as the original. Some other professors might want you to leave your answer in scientific notation, and they will specify that. So in this video we shall leave our answers in scientific notation. Leave all answers in scientific notation. Okay, so now how do we do this? So what we have to do is, we know that 1 centi means 10 to the negative 2 centi. Okay, 1 centi. We did this in the it is very important you start. This is a playlist, a video playlist on SI units, SI system and units. It is important that you view that video in order so that you will understand it. The prefix is very important. So centi means 10 to the negative 2. So all you need to do is just square it. Square both sides. Square both sides. That is all you need to do. To get it to meters squared, all you need to do is square both sides. Because this is an equation, you can square both sides. Okay? So this will now be 1 squared centimeter squared equal to, this is 10 to the negative 4, because from laws of exponents, just do negative 2 times 2 gives you negative 4 meters squared. So do you now see this? So 1 squared is 1. So 1 centimeter squared is 10 to the negative 4 meters squared. That is it. Okay, and you can now use the two methods we have talked about in the previous videos. We talked about the unit fraction method and the proportional reasoning method. You can use any one of them to now find what 25 centimeters squared will be. If we use the unit fraction method, okay, we will have 25 centimeters squared times, we now put centimeter squared here and we put meter squared here. I am using the unit fraction method. This is unit fraction method. That is the method I prefer. It is the method I prefer. So we just write this like this, and then we now check from here, that 1 centimeter squared will be 10 to the negative 4. So you write this so that you can cross out this, and you now have 2 meters squared. So this will be 25 times 10 to the negative 4 meters squared, and that will give us 2.5 times 10 to the 1, okay, times 10 raised to power 1 times 10 to negative 4 meters squared. You make sure that you put the unit in your final answer. You make sure you put the unit in your final answer. So this will now give us 2.5 times 10 to 1 minus 4 is minus 3 meters squared. And this becomes the answer. That's it. Okay, then all you need to do, you can go into this calculator right here. Go into this calculator and just check your answer. You should get this when you check your answer. Now, let me do this by proportional reasoning method. But I will suggest you always use unit fraction method. But if we do it by proportional reasoning method, we discussed these methods already. Then we see that 1 centimeter squared is 10 to the negative 4 meters squared. Therefore, 25 centimeters squared, we have to put it right here. 25 centimeters squared will be, you can call it x, and it should be meters squared. Then we can now form a proportion. 1 over 25 is equal to 10 to the negative 4 over x. And then you can use cross product or cross multiply. Cross product or cross multiply. Some people will call it butterfly method. Cross product or cross multiply. Some people will call it butterfly method. So when you do that, you now have that 1 times x is equal to 25 times, let me use asterisk, times 10 to the negative 4. So 1 times x is x, and this will now give us 2.5 times 10 to the 1 times 10 to negative 4. That will now give us 2.5 times 10 to 1 minus 4. X will now be 2.5 times 10 to negative 3 meters squared. You make sure you put meters squared. Make sure you put that. That is very important. Okay, so but for the other examples, I will use unit fraction method because that is what I prefer. Alright, now what if they ask you to convert 25 centimeters squared to kilometers squared? Kilometer squared. So let's call this example 2. Example 2, convert 25 centimeters squared to kilometer squared. How would you do that? How would you do that? So, and you know, that is the nice thing about international system or the metric system. Easier. I mean, once you know the prefixes, that is it. So, when will America convert to the international system? When will they? When will they? But I'm not going to get into this, okay? Okay, now, centi to kilo, and that is in meters squared. So the first thing we do, The first thing we do is, we know that meter squared is the intermediate. The intermediate unit is meter squared. Okay, that is the intermediate unit. Intermediate unit is meter squared. We need that. So we have to convert, we have to split both of them to meter squared. We need that. We already know that 1 centimeter squared is 10 to negative 4 meters squared. So we keep this. We keep this. Now let us do that of the kilometer squared. We see that 1 kilometer, kilo is 10 to the 3, 1,000 meters. Kilo is 10 exponent 3, 10 to the power 3. And all you need to do is to square both sides. This is an equation. You can square both sides. So 1 kilometer, put all squared, is 10 to the 3 meters, put all squared. So we see that 1 kilometer squared is equal to 10 to the 3 times 2 is 6 meters squared. So we need this here. 1 kilometer squared is 1,000,000 meters squared. 10 to the 6, 10 raised to power 6 meters squared. Now what we need to do is to use the unit fraction method. The unit fraction method, we write this first, 25 centimeters squared times, we write the centimeter squared here, and we write the intermediate units, meter squared here, then times this meter squared, we write it here so it will cross out, and then we write the kilometer squared here, kilometer squared here. So do you see how the unit fraction method works? All you need is the prefixes. For metric system, you only need the prefix and you're good to convert any, whether it's length or area or volume. You can convert between the units. So you put the centimeter squared here so it will cross out, and the meter squared here it will cross out, because this will cross out like this, and then you now have only kilometer squared. Okay. So here we see that the one we are going to put is 1 here. 1 centimeter squared is 10 to the power negative 4 meters squared. And here we put 1 here. 1 kilometer squared here is equal to 10 to power 6 meters squared. And we are good to go. Okay, so this will now be 25 times 10 to negative 4. Now, if you bring this, because this is divided by 10 to the 6, then kilometers squared. So this will be 25 times 10 to negative 4 minus 6 kilometers squared. Law of exponents. Law of exponents. Okay? So this is 25 times 10 to minus 10 kilometers squared. And then you can finish it up. You can finish it up that this will be 2.5 times 10 to the power 1 times 10 to negative 10 kilometers squared. And that will now give us 2.5 times 10 to 1 minus 10 is minus 9 kilometers squared. That's your answer. That's it. Pretty straightforward, right? Pretty straightforward. Okay, let us now, that is the way you do areas. That is the way you do areas. Now let us do volumes, and we can call it a line. With volumes, it's still the same principle. With volumes, it is still the same principle. Just cube both sides. cube both sides. So let's say we have, we want to find, maybe let's say the conversion between micrometer cube and, let's say, micro and megameter cube. How about that? What's the conversion between micrometer cube, megameter cube? Something like that. So what we just need to do, you know, we have that 1 micrometer is micro 10 to the power 6 meters. Micro. Okay, and this will work for any unit, not just meters. It will work for Faraday, unit of electricity. It will work for Newton, unit of force. It will work for any unit. Okay, any unit. So it will work for volts, microvolts, unit of voltage. It will work for amps, unit of current, amperes. So all you need to do is just cube both sides, cube both sides, cube both sides, cube both sides. So 1 cube micrometer cube is equal to 10 to negative 18 meter cube. That's it. 10 to negative 18 meter cube. So 1 cube is 1 micrometer cube will give us 10 to negative 18 meter cube. And that is how you do it. That's it. You know. And then if we talked about mega, if you want to find mega, 1 megameter is 10 to power 6 meters. Mega. So just cube both sides. 1 megameter all cube is 10 to the 6 meters all cube. So 1 cube megameter cube is 10 to 6 times 3 is 18 meter cube. 1 cube is 1. So 1 megameter cube is 10 to the 18 meter cube. And that's it. Okay? That's it. So let us do example 3. Let's do 2 more examples and we can call it a 9. Example 3, convert let's say convert 0.25 liters to meter cube. Convert 0.25 liters to meter cube. How would you do that? Convert 0.25 liters to meter cube. Okay, so 1 liter is 1 dm cube. That is what we mean. That is what it is. 1 liter means 1 dm cube. Liters. L is uppercase L, liters. So first of all, 1 decimeter. 1 deci is 10 to the negative 1 meters. Deci. Okay. Cube both sides. Cube both sides. Cube both sides. Cube both sides. So we have that 1 cube dm cube is equal to 10 to the negative 3 meter cube. Right? So 1 cube is 1. 1 dm cube is 10 to negative 3 meter cube. So keep this. Okay, now the next thing we now do is we can use unit fraction method. We use the unit fraction method to find 0.25 liters to meter cube. So we write 0.25 dm cube, which is 2 liters, times, you put the dm cube here, and you put the meter cube here. Okay? So that the dm cube will cross out dm cube. And you have only meter cube. So we now write that 1 dm cube is 10 to negative 3 meter cube. Okay? So you now have that. This will now be 0.25 times 10 to the negative 3 meter cube. So this is 2.5 times 10 to negative 1 times 10 to negative 3 meter cube. And that is 2.5 times 10 to negative 4 meter cube. That's it. 2.5 times 10 to negative 4. Because negative 1 plus negative 3 gives us negative 4. Which is negative 1, negative 3, which is negative 4. That's it. Pretty straightforward, right? Okay. Now let's convert 0.25 micrometers to micrometer cube to megameter cube. Okay? 0.25 micrometer cube to megameter cube. Convert 0.25 micrometer cube to megameter cube. Megameter cube. Okay? So we have already established the intermediate unit is meter cube. Intermediate unit. Because we need that. Intermediate unit is meter cube. And we have already established it here. How we could find the intermediate unit. So now this will now be 0.25 micrometer cube times, okay, we now have this here will be micrometer cube, and this here will be meter cube, and then here will be meter cube, and here will now be megameter cube. You want to set it up in a way that it can always cross out. This crosses out, this crosses out. And you end up having megameter cube. That is the unit fraction method. So we can now have this. This here we put 1 here, 1. And here we put 10 to negative 18. 10 to negative 18. And for this one, we put 1 here, 1. And here we put 10 to 18. 10 to 18. So 10 to 18. Okay? So this will now be 0.25 times 10 to negative 18. Now, you bring in this here up here is minus 18 also. Law of exponents. Okay, law of exponents. I mean, 1 will cross out 1. Okay, 1 crosses out 1. 1 will cross out 1. Micrometer cube crosses out. Meter cube crosses out. So this will be, you bring this up here. Okay, then megameter cube. So this will be 0.25 times 10 to negative 36 megameter cube, which is now what? 2.5 times 10 to negative 1 times 10 to negative 36, and that will now give us 2.5 times 10 to negative 37 megameter cube. That becomes your answer. Okay? So that is how you convert areas and volumes in the metric system. That is how you convert between units. And you can check your answer using this calculator. www.measurementsandunits.appspot.com. And if you like it, please share it. Okay? And please leave your comments. Thank you so much for listening to this video